こに来てまだ伸びるのか。成長。いや、飛躍だ。
Be honest. Be honest with me. And I just want to know if I was alone or not. The moment that Bell and Ryu shared, and Ryu's talking to Bell about the terror that is the Juggernaut and how she found out about the Juggernaut and all that stuff, and Bell hits her with, Tell me what happened to you, Ryu. And I need to know if I was alone when that happened. And she was like I literally screamed out. I was like, no. Because, what ends up happening in those moments when they're like, tell me about what happened, we get a flashback. And if you guys know, I don't care about the Estrella familia. Like, I don't care about them. Like, I just simply don't care. They don't exist anymore. They're dead. They fell to the Juggernaut. Ryu's the only one left. That's all I need to know. You know what I mean? I don't really care about all of them. We start every single effing episode with a flashback of Ryu. Like, oh, Leon, you're such a hero, blah, blah, justice. It's like, I already see that at the beginning. I don't need any more. You know what I mean? So just be honest. Were you also like, oh, no? Because that was my reaction. Because I was like, oh, no, here we go. We're going to stop everything we're doing to get a flashback. Now, thankfully, some enemies went and attacked. And that stopped us from getting a flashback. So I was like, thank God for you guys almost dying here. Because if not, we would have gotten a dumb flashback. This episode, overall, I would say this episode felt pretty short. But one thing that it did really well is it definitely established the Xenos coming back. If you guys have been following my content for a while, especially for DanMachi over the past couple of seasons, then you know that I'm not a big fan of the Xenos arc. I think the Xenos arc was the weakest for me in DanMachi so far. Like, it was my least favorite. I do like Weenie. Weenie's, she's a cute character, but like outside of that, like I really didn't really care about, all the dungeon stuff and all. Anyway, I won't get into it, but it just hasn't been my favorite. But, I do like the fact that they did bring them back here. And they came to save Lily and Welf and the group right when they needed them. And I love that Reno? Is his name Reno? I think his name's Reno. Anyways, the Rito is his name. The scaly looking lizard guy. He talked to Mary, who is the what is she? A mermaid? Mermaid? Yeah, she's a mermaid. So he talked to her, and he got the info on Belle, that she's alive with Ryu, that she probably fell to the deep floors, and thankfully that gets communicated. So the Xenos go to start clearing a path to make their way to the deep floors as well, to go save Belle, and to go save Ryu and stuff. And they communicate to Lily. I was like, okay, yes, thankfully they're communicating to Lily here. They communicate to Lily that, hey, this is what happened. Lily conducts a plan of like, okay, she gets 𝐒𝐶𝐵𝐭 and the girls, and then she gets their group. She's like, this is what we're doing. We're going down to the safe zone, and we're going to make our way down to the deep floors. We're going to go find Belle. And they don't really give a lot of context for, our girl Cassandra and Daphne and some of the folks who weren't familiar with the Xenos because they weren't really part of the Hestia Familia during that time in that capacity. Aisha, she rolls with the punches. I love Aisha. She immediately, she's very sharp. She can put two and two together. And I love that, and they all they round it out. So that established, okay, we now have Lily's group, Aisha's group, all this stuff. We all have them. We have 𝐒𝐵𝐭's group now, and they're becoming a part of here. We established that they're level 4s, which is really cool. Might be a little bit higher for some of them. Which is really cool. I like how 𝐒𝐵𝐭 gave Welf a high five and welcome him to blacksmith hell, essentially, because he's ascended to the next level of blacksmithery. So I thought that was a really cool moment. But we basically established that, okay, now this group, they're going to make their way to the safe zone. They're going to make their way to the lower floors. And this is what's going to happen here. So we established that. And then on the Ryu and Belle end, we established that, Ryu continues to admire Belle and his growth curve that he's had, and that he continues to grow. And one thing that was very important to me that stood out this episode was at the beginning of the episode, Ryu's having a conversation with the captain of the Estrella Familia, And basically the conversation ends with, somebody who can uphold, meet, and deliver on their ideals is what we typically will call a hero. So basically kind of like foreboding or foreshadowing Bell in being able to uphold his ideals and live up to, have set an expectation and then hit it, and then set another one and hit it, And I think most of his party, including, Ryu, kind of recognize him as like, he seems to be like the hero. And that's where Bell's whole motif comes from, his powers, his skills, everything. So I think that was a really cool moment as well, too. The episode then ends and wraps up with us, getting getting a glimpse at a Coliseum, which I don't know what that really means yet. We're gonna find out, but apparently it seems like they're back on track to the main path Ryu and Bell are, but now they're gonna have to conquer this probably really difficult thing that gives a lot of parties trouble, is what I'm getting here. So. Overall, really good episode. A lot of foreshadowing, a lot of setting us on the right path for the Xenos. I like how Weenie stayed back to, hang out with Haruhime and the party. I like how the Xenos came back, just a little bit. I like how we found out that, Fell is the one that ended up telling Ryu about about the Juggernaut and everything. I was hoping that Bell would eventually catch Ryu up on the stuff that he's been doing, but regardless, it's okay. And everything else. So I thought it was a really good episode overall. I really enjoyed watching it. I was completely, I was in the episode. I was in it. Really enjoyed it. Easy 8 or 9 out of 10 episode. Really good. It showed us a growth curve. It showed us the Xenos, and it showed us kind of what's the next threat for them. So next episode, what I'm wondering is if are we going to get a flashback when Ryu and her party took on this Coliseum, or we're just going to go straight into it? That remains to be seen. Regardless, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.